Hey everyone, we're going to test out a regular lighter fuel lighter, not a pressurized butane lighter. This is a cheap one. It's actually pretty good. You have an on-off switch, and that's how it turns on. There's a sight window as well. But I find that a lot of the ones that make a clicking sound, the crystals go bad, and then also the ones that have completely clear tanks, those tanks crack over time. And I even had a soldering one with a clear tank explode on me once because the plastic, it's under pressure from the butane. So this one has a clear sight window, but it's trapped in metal, so that's why it hasn't exploded yet. And I've had this probably 5 or 10 years, so oh my if you can find it. This is a more expensive one. It's actually pretty good as well. Kakiri, I think? Kiribi? No, Karibi. It's made in Japan. So kind of an old school style, and you can have a nice small flame. Nothing wrong with this for a butane powered one, but I fear that a lot of these butane ones, eventually the O-rings do go bad, and then you gotta fix the O-rings. I have a Dunhill lighter that doesn't work anymore because I think the O-rings. This one is also great. I reviewed this a while back if you want to search it out. This is like a blowtorch though. This is literally a ceramic tip because this thing is so hot. So the reason why I want a low powered lighter is because I stitch a lot of stuff up and I have the extra stitching in these little cheap plastic Velcro things. They get frayed. These are for airsoft that I'm using these for. So they're subject to a lot of scrapage. Okay, but the disposables, you can't light it for like a few minutes because this whole thing gets super hot after a while. So that's a long introduction. But if you're new to lighters, that's why I think I'm gonna start moving towards just good old lighter fluid, listed as kerosene or oil lighters. Well, lighter fluid actually contains naphtha, and I think it's this type of fluid keeps it from getting clogged up. I don't know if you can put regular kerosene into every lighter. I think it might gum them up from my research online. But correct me if I'm wrong if you really know about lighters. I'm just doing a few reviews because I feel I need one that isn't butane powered. Okay, well I don't know what that sticker's all about, but it's new, and it was cheap. It's Zorro. So this brand is pretty prevalent on AliExpress. And so we have, boy, what is this? Maybe, I think this is the fluid. I can see it there, right? This fills up the fluid. This is probably the flint, but how do you open it? That's what I'm wondering. Oh, that was simple. Oh, this has a cool little, like, match feature. Alright, so I'm going to have to fill it up. It's amazing that is only held in by this one O-ring. There's no screwing at all, but it is recessed, so it's a little. There actually are threads there too. That's weird. You might have another one where you just thread in and you don't have this little matchstick kind of thing. All right, we'll get back to that. Yeah, that's weird that's only a friction fit. I feel like that could easily fall out. So maybe this is not good for traveling. Alright, what else do we have here? We have like a J-shaped passage for this pin to move about. And this thing... Oh, this is probably for the flint. See, I think that's the flint, maybe? No. For some reason, there's gold there. There's stainless here, stainless... Oh, what's that? I'm not sure. And then also it's just a vent on both sides here. And then we have this. Alright, so that opens it, which is kind of neat. It's flush. Or is it? No, it's actually sticking out a little bit, so that could be problematic. Oh, this might be a lock. Hold on. Nope. Let me move it here. Nope. I would think that this... No, it's not a lock. So that's really interesting. The flint must be here because there's the wheel, right? The ignition wheel for the flint. Maybe you can't replace the flint in this. That doesn't seem right. Anyways, the wick is new, and is this a big rubber seal? Hold on. Yeah, I think this black thing is a rubber seal, which is great because that means when this closes, it's not going to evaporate lighter fluid through the wick because well, it will, but after a while it can't evaporate anymore once that whole chamber is filled up with the gas. All right, so there's a little spring here for the lid. It's a blade. It's not a round spring. It's some sort of blade spring. Interesting. Let's close this and see it move. Oh, it's a cam mechanism on that flint. Okay, well, anyways, the seal's nice. I like that. I just don't know what this is for. Unless maybe I can unscrew this. Let's try that. Alright. What is going on? Oh, there's two ball bearings there, so be careful. I can only imagine those are flints. Maybe they're spare flints? I'll have to get to the figuring that out later. Let me put this back together. Yeah, those are flints, by the way. I just slammed it on the table after I put this back together, and it fell out there. So, I'll do it again. Yeah, so they are flints. I guess maybe they're just spares. Maybe when we mess with the bottom, we'll figure out how to replace this flints. So you basically probably want to just leave this horizontal, this dot, so it's covering up those two flints there. Alright, close that. Well, I guess all I can do is really open this, right, and fill it with some fluid. Alright, so this brass thing has a pretty sizable O-ring, so hopefully that's good for durability. And what's going on up there? I don't see much. It's weird. This looks like there's a tube or something there. There's some sort of clear object there, which I cannot figure out what that would be for. Maybe it's an air vent or something? Don't know. And then if I did take this out, will this bottom come off? Oh, wait a second. I wonder if you can just slide the whole inside out of this thing. Oh, look at this. Okay. This is how you replace the flint. Interesting. Okay, let's see. There's a screw in there over there. There's a brass thing. Oh, that's the... Right. That opens the thing. This spring is interesting. It's actually not straight. It's more like an oval. I don't think I've ever seen a spring like that in a lighter. Alright, so anyways, there's a flat-headed screw there, and you could replace the flint here, so that makes sense. Now, it does come with this tool, which is nice, but it would have been even cooler if you could fit the tool inside here, but you cannot. So, that's unfortunate. And then also, this is proving difficult to even pull off, which seems odd, right? There we go. Alright, so can I open this without a tool? No. No. So that's why they include this, but if you're out in the field, this is annoying. I suppose if you greased this thing, maybe you might be able to undo this with your hands. This is not a machine. This looks like it's stamped or something. No, I take that back. It is machined, but you can see the ridges as if you can see the ends of the threads right there on the outside surface. It's kind of weird. So you need to have the spring to push that flint up. So, yeah, there it is. Okay. I think it would have been cool if they made this longer and you could stack like 2 or 3 flints above each other. Alright, well, anyways, if you undo it once with your hand, There, you just finger tighten it like that, and then you could undo it with your hand in the future. But the very first time, I think you're going to need the tool to get it undone. And get this thing over. Well, you're not going to lose that spring very easily. Unless it's backwards. Let me try it on this side. Oh, alright. There might be a direction. I think it's just a production tolerance thing. Alright, so I think that's really neat that you can actually do this. You can take this apart without tools. Alright, so that goes back. Very, very neat. So we can put this match thing back in this one. And get some fluid in here. So you got the sight window, which is neat. It has to be plastic, just based off that sound. Okay. Yeah, it might be hard to find that thread at first, but there we go. And I guess you could use your thumbnail, but I'm going to play it safe and use the tool. There. So that's definitely tight. And I'm going to need, I think, a few minutes for that to seep in, so let me come back. Yeah, so I found it helpful if you do this. You're trying to shake the air out of the wick and get the liquid in there. I also added some more fluid. So now it's definitely saturated. And actually quite a very tall flame because that wick is so tall. Yeah, so you could trim that wick down if you want the flame to be a little less pronounced. This is on high, this lighter here. So it's actually a bigger flame than this disposable lighter. And it's a very wide flame though as well. It seems pretty difficult to put out. Oh, there we go. So you're going to have to actually close it in order to relight it, because that's the only way for that flint to work. Okay, so yeah, it is getting warm, of course, being a metal body. So it might get too hot if you just leave it there for a long time. But I do like how deep that wick thing is, so you do have the option to have a big flame like this. It's kind of hard to show. I will say though, it actually goes out kind of easy. I don't know. I don't have a Zippo, so I don't know how easily those things go out, but it seems like they are not subject to wind as much as this. Alright, it is starting to get hot now, so I'm going to close that up. I gotta edit this in, this whole match thing. I totally forgot about it. So if I pull this out, I want to see if it smells. Yeah, it definitely smells like the lighter fluid, so I think you are going to still have to light it like this. And now you can see how big that is, right? So it's not very long though, so I'm not sure what application you'd use for that. But it's a nice option, I guess, and it doesn't take up any room. So there you go. Simple enough. Well, all in all, I think it's pretty neat. I don't know if the listings have the dimensions, so this might be important. 64 millimeters with the wheel and that control opening button, maybe 38 millimeters, and then thickness is like 13 millimeters. It definitely feels pretty quality. It seems like it's stainless steel. I don't know if it's just sheet metal bent and then welded, maybe like right there, and they polish it out after, but it is solid. It feels very, very strong. So I think you could drop this repeatedly and it'll probably still work. I think the only thing really susceptible to breaking might be this thing, but it's only sticking out a little bit, that much just to show you. And all that does is hold 2 spare flints, so even if you lose that, the lighter will still work. Okay, well, anyways, I'm pretty happy with it because it wasn't too expensive. And now I can use such a thing to melt down my little extra sewing bits and whatnot, and just clean up. These patches I use for airsoft recognition. Friendly fire is a big thing in airsoft. People just shoot you if they don't know what team you're on, right? So I wear these on my helmet. Oh, Okay. Very neat. Okay, I have a few more lighters to review if you're interested, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.